Place the oven on a flat surface and remember to adjust the legs so that the glass plate fits under the oven. On this oven, it's very important that the smoke connection is assembled in the correct position. The opening of the connection is to be placed against the opening of the oven so that the oven gets the necessary supply of air. Also, remember to mount the bullet stopper. Measure out the correct distance to the combustible material, 5 centimeters from the pipe and 10 centimeters from the fireplace. When we position the fireplace, it's important that we have the drawing of the soffit, or that we can measure ourselves out so the trusses and beams can be found. It's important to come right in between these two places. Use a laser to mark the center and then drill a hole. If you are going through several floors, use the same hole and let the laser go all the way through. This ensures that the pipe is mounted 100% level. To ensure that the right-sized hole is achieved, use the bezel as a starting point and add 5 centimeters all the way around. In the attic, place a gasket down towards the vapor barrier and fasten this with the supplied tape. Be careful to avoid leakage of hot air into the attic. Use a handsaw to cut through the ceiling. This is because we don't know what is above the ceiling. There could be ventilation pipes, electricity cables, etc. If we do have a full overview of what is up there, we can safely use a jigsaw. On this oven, a special start coupling is used to ensure that the chimney's air supply reaches the oven. Before assembling the chimney, it's important to put the cover ring atop the oven, as it is not possible to retrofit this. Here we assemble the transition between simple insulated and double insulated pipe, and this should always be placed about 15 centimeters under the lower ceiling. Make sure the chimney is level before fastening the cover ring. When the roof has been penetrated in the living room and up in the attic, we assemble a so-called roof duct that ensures the necessary distance from the pipe to the combustible materials. This is placed on top of the gasket and fastened to the rafters. We then assemble the fully insulated pipe up to the ceiling and cut a hole that is 10 centimeters wider than the chimney pipe. On the roof, remove the tiles, barges, and loops. Assemble a new gasket on the ceiling and apply Tech 7 or something similar in addition to special tape for exterior use. Here we assemble an additional ceiling anchor that provides extra stability for the roof. Assemble the dual polished seizure and make sure the chimney is centered before the seizure is screwed into the loops. The distance from the rear to the forefront of the seizure must not be larger than 43 centimeters, and the two sections are locked with the accompanying screws. The barge and loops are then placed in such a way that they can be laid as close fitting as possible to the tiles. If necessary, customize it with an angle grinder. Remember to add a lathe at the rear so that the tiles have support. We then add the black over-seizure on the tile and attach this to the seizure with the shiny screws. Then mount the lower part of the square bracket. There is no need to adapt the angle with tin snips or the like, since the next part will overlap the rear. When the lower part has been mounted vertically, we mount the next section, level it up, and screw it firmly to both the seizure and the under seizure. We now attach the support bracket, and the 4 brackets must be adjusted to the chimney size. We now position the chimney in place before the support brackets are locked in position. This allows the chimney to stand firm. The upper part of the telescope flashing has 4 air slots on all sides. We place the top hat to the telescope flashing. The top hat must be attached with 4 sealing screws in the pre-drilled holes on the top of the telescope flashing. When the top hat is attached to the upper part of the telescope flashing, we place it over the chimney. We put the rain cover in place. Remember to use the locks on both rain cover and the rain hat to prevent these blowing off. We eventually attached the upper telescope flashing at the desired height, with 4 sealing screws, 2 on each side.
Da vi ferdig med oppdraget her I denne ene boligen. Vi har brukt ca. 5 timer på hele oppsettet av ildsted og stålpipe. Og at vi bruker Schiedel-produktene absolutt det beste for oss, som enkle å ha med å gjøre. Det sammensatte produkter, og jeg har enkle tegninger å forholde oss til. Vi monterer ca. 150 stålpiper av forskjellige sort hele året, men vårt valg enkelt. Vi holder oss til Schiedel, som men for oss et kvalitetsprodukt.